Coronavirus, or COVID-19. With cases now in Minnesota and events being canceled in an effort to stem the spread of the illness, rumors are flying. I'm Shannon Slatton, and today we're going to give you the basics with information straight from the Centers for Disease Control and the Minnesota Department of Health. Let's begin with what is COVID-19. The CDC says it's a respiratory virus caused by a new coronavirus that was first detected in China. It's now been detected in more than 100 locations. How does it spread? Here's what the CDC says.
We believe this new virus spreads mostly from person to person through respiratory droplets produced when someone who is sick coughs or sneezes. This is similar to how flu and other respiratory illnesses spread. These droplets can land in the mouth or nose of people nearby, or possibly be inhaled into the lungs.
There have been cases of coronavirus in Minnesota. Let's talk about the symptoms. Here's what the CDC says the symptoms are. They include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. You need medical advice if you've been in close contact with someone who has COVID-19 or if you've been in an area with ongoing spread of COVID-19. It's important that you don't run to an urgent care or an emergency room. Instead, call your doctor to find out what to do.
If there's any real concerns that an individual has potential exposure to coronavirus, it feels much like the flu. And I would recommend that they contact their clinic or doctor or the Minnesota Department of Health to be able to ask them whether or not it's appropriate for them to be seen or not.
The good news is for most people, the illness is generally mild and it doesn't last long. The bad news is that it's new and there's no vaccine and it's highly contagious. So the elderly and those with compromised immune systems are more at risk. Here's what the experts at the CDC say for those most at risk.
Older adults and people who have severe chronic medical conditions like heart, lung, or kidney disease or diabetes may be at higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. If you are one of the people at increased risk for serious COVID-19 illness, it's especially important for you to take action to reduce the risk of getting COVID-19 now. The first thing you can do is take care of your own health. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol if soap and water are not available. Cover your coughs or sneezes with a tissue, or cough or sneeze into your elbow, not your hands. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Clean and disinfect surfaces in your home, such as counters, tabletops, and doorknobs to remove germs. Use household cleaning sprays or wipes according to the label instructions. The next thing you can do is make a plan for what to do if you do get sick. Know who will take care of you if your caregiver gets sick. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting extra necessary medications to have on hand. Get enough supplies too, including enough household items and groceries so you can stay home for a few weeks if you have to. The third thing you can do is pay attention to what's happening locally. If COVID-19 is spreading in your community, stay home as much as possible and avoid crowds. If you get sick with fever, cough, or shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider. If you develop warning signs, such as difficulty breathing, persistent pain or pressure in your chest, confusion, or blueness of the lips or face, these may be signs of serious illness. Call 911.
The best way to protect yourself from 2019 novel coronavirus is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Additionally, there are preventative actions that you can take to protect yourself and your family from the spread of respiratory viruses that can make you sick. These include stay home if you're sick, cover your cough, and wash your hands.
One of the simplest ways to protect yourself is to wash your hands. Here's how the Minnesota Department of Health says to do it. It's important that you don't rely on Facebook or the rumor mill for information. Go straight to the CDC or the Department of Health. Local cities are following those same guidelines. Here's a message from Chief John Cunningham, who is the Director of Emergency Management for Brooklyn Park.
Hi, I'm John Cunningham, Fire Chief and the Director of Emergency Management for the City of Brooklyn Park. As you are aware, there are several new cases of the coronavirus disease, or commonly referred to today as COVID-19, in Minnesota. COVID-19 is impacting communities across the country. We want you to know that the health and safety of our community is our top priority. The City of Brooklyn Park is following the guidelines of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention and the Minnesota Department of Public Health. Our emergency management team is working closely with county and state public safety officials to continue serving our community.
You can find more information about city services on your city's website. Get the information you need to stay safe. Here's the Minnesota Department of Health's COVID-19 hotline. It's open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. if you have any questions. And look to the Minnesota Department of Health and the CDC for more information.
The Minnesota State High School League announced Friday morning that the rest of the state girls basketball tournament, remaining section boys basketball finals, and next week's state boys tournament has been canceled. So games held Thursday night were the last ones to be played in Minnesota. That included Maple Grove and Buffalo playing in the section 8 4A boys final. Maple Grove takes the lead early. Rashawn Parker drives to the hoop for the layup. Lavelle Williams has a strong game for the Crimson, repeatedly getting to the rim with slashing drives. He scores 17. The Crimson lead 20-12 at this point. Caden Betcher also has a strong night. He gets the friendly bounce on the rim for 3 of his 18 points here. Maple Grove leads by 13 at this point, and they're up by 8 at halftime. Second half, though, and Buffalo charges back. Their star Matt Willard buries a 3. They go in front 38-36. Then it's Trevor Johnson with a nice hesitation dribble, and he gets in for the layup. Buffalo's lead grows to as much as 6 points. It's a great battle down the stretch. Betcher hits a 3, and there's a foul away from the play on Buffalo. It turns into a 5-point play for Maple Grove. Willard almost pulls this one out, though, for Buffalo. This 3 gives the Bison a 49-46 lead. He scores 30. The lead changes hands late. Maple Grove gets the last big shot as Parker nails a long 3 with about 30 seconds to go to give Maple Grove the lead for good as they celebrate a section championship with a 54-52 win. In Section 6 4A boys basketball, 2019 state champion Hopkins was looking to win their section again when they faced Cooper in the section final. Early in the first half, the Hawks worked the ball to Jeffrey Cooper, and he hits for 3. And then Broderick Powell Jr. nails a long 3, giving the Hawks a 7-0 early lead. Hopkins goes on a run. Kerwin Walton to Reagan Merritt, and he hits a 3 for a 15-13 Royals lead. Cornell Richardson with a crossover dribble drive, and he hits a floater, and Hopkins leads 25-14. Joe Russell hits from long range for Cooper, and that closes the gap to 6. But Merritt hits a 3 at the buzzer to give the Royals a 33-22 halftime lead. Cooper fights back hard, though, early in the second half. Jeffrey Cooper down the lane, and he hits the tough shot here for the Hawks. Then Davion Evans attacks for the Hawks, getting the basket and foul. It's an 11-1 run for Cooper early in the second half. Richardson comes back, though, for Hopkins with a baseline 3 as the Royals try to build their lead again. Evans gets to the hoop for another tough basket here. Cooper is within 42-40, but Hopkins surges again. Walton finds Andre Gray, and the Royals go on to win it 71-60. Hopkins beat Stillwater in last season's State 4A Girls Basketball Championship game. The two were matched up in the semifinals Thursday night at Williams Arena on what turned out to be the final night of the season. The Hopkins defense causes chaos all night for Stillwater. Amaya battles steal, sets up Taylor Woodson for an early 2 points for the Royals. Maya Naji with nice footwork gets herself free in the lane for the one-hander here. 12 points in the game for the Royals sophomore. Paige Beckers drains a three from the left wing to put Hopkins ahead 19-4. Beckers finishes with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. The Ponies pull within 10 points at halftime, but Hopkins pulls away again in the second half. Battle to Naji for 2 more. The lead is 13. And then Beckers with a great pass to Woodson in the paint. Woodson with 21 in the game to lead all scorers. Hopkins dominates 66-40 for their 62nd straight win, so they finish with a 30-0 record. Providence Academy played just one game in Class 2A before the rest of the tournament was canceled.